An absent WWE superstar is planned for a top WrestleMania match. Plus, the reason AEW scrapped plans for the Darby Allin title win. And WWE are running a show at the ECW Arena. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Believe it or not, Andrew.
Yeah?
I'm walking on air. And also, WrestleMania 41 is on the horizon.
It's crazy to think it's not really that far away, is it?
It isn't that far away at all. And we could be looking at a star who is currently not around being factored into Mania plans.
Yeah, so responding to a question about the potential for a Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair match at WrestleMania 41 on WrestleVotes Radio, it was stated, I haven't heard too much about potential women's matches at WrestleMania. I do know that Charlotte Flair is going to be in the fold and at the top of any women's wrestling card that they present for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I imagine as soon as Charlotte Flair is back.
Oh yeah,
right
jettison
in the
straight
middle
into
of it all.
that. Yeah, for sure.
Straight in the middle of it. Just like, I like the idea of a Jade Cargill Bianca Belair match being set up and then Charlotte Flair just doing the thing and goes, oh,
hello.
And me. And match with me in it. Don't mind if I do. Yeah. 100% back in the mix as soon. Her recovery has gone really well.
Yep.
I believe she's ahead of schedule when you consider the extent of the injury that she had. It would keep somebody out for maybe 18 months. But it's coming up to a year since she was injured, and I wouldn't be shocked if she's back in the ring by December.
Yeah, that's crazy because I feel like not long after she sort of took the time away to recover and rehab, it felt like by the time we'd heard she'd had an injury, it felt like a few weeks after where we saw the videos of her that she posted of her like recovering and in rehab looking just as good as ever.
Yeah.
She's another machine. She's a machine.
She is an absolute machine, and she'll be back in the ring at some point. And I'm sure you'll have very strong opinions about that, which we'll be sharing in the comment section right now. Scrapped plans flavoured news. My mate Geek Culture loves some scrap plans news. Don't you whinge no more, my friend. We've got you covered because we had Darby Allin set to be a part of an AEW World title match.
Yes.
And that kind of went by the wayside, didn't it?
A little bit. So this comes from Wrestling Observer newsletter, and they said, as noted many times, the original plan when Bryan Danielson won the title at Wembley Stadium was to lose it to Darby Allin on the Wrestle Dream show in Tacoma, Washington. Since Allin grew up in Seattle, which is 35 miles away, and Danielson in Aberdeen, Washington, about 80 miles away. But the Moxley turn on Danielson after his title defense over Jack Perry at All Out in Chicago changed the direction with the idea of putting as much heat as possible on Moxley and the BCC in an attempt to jumpstart interest in the promotion.
So that explains why on this occasion Darby Allin was sort of sidestepped for that setup. It was obviously it's a thing where they've twisted some plans which they had long term in favour of giving Moxley and his new lads a real kick up the old you-know-what to get the thing started. Where do you think the Moxley thing ends?
Oh, that's a good question. Because I don't know if you want it necessarily to end soon, but I feel like with what it seems like with the sort of end shot and the ending of Wrestle Dream and everything, feeling as though it's going to be these, I guess, like, not necessarily the pillars of AEW, but the younger talent and the younger generation of AEW stepping up into that top picture by defeating and toppling this new Blackpool Combat Club. And I do think that's where we're going to go, and we'll see Darby get the title off Jon Moxley. I don't know if we do it. Do we do it sooner rather than later?
I don't think there's a mad rush for that. I like where you're going with that, where you say it'll probably be Darby that'll be the one that takes Jon Moxley down.
Yeah.
I personally don't know if I see Darby Allin as a world champion.
Well, that's what this is for, Tom. That's what this program is for.
Yeah, and it's to get you there. You've obviously got a great way to start it by the fact that Darby Allin losing to Moxley is what led to Jon Moxley and his gang holding the world title hostage for whoever is running their particular ship.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine if it's Shane McMahon. And Darby Allin, one of the pillars of AEW, is the one of the very few that could step in and stop him at this point.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of that. When it comes to pillars of AEW, Wrestling Observer also revealing that Sammy Guevara is cleared to return to action. There was an injury scare at the Ring of Honor TV tapings recently that saw Sammy Guevara taken out on a backboard, and he was walking around backstage afterwards. so there was some hope that everything seems okay. But the fact that he is cleared and ready to go says, like you say, he's cleared and ready to go.
Good on him.
Yeah, he's currently one half of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions with Dustin Rhodes. So you would have thought if there was any long-term injury concerns there, they would have probably addressed how it pertains to the Ring of Honor World Tag titles. I think the last thing you want is another set of tag champions where one half is injured for a million years.
Yes,
They've been dealt enough bad runs at this point. Let's talk CM Punk.
Cool.
And there are plans outside of wrestling for Punk, as the Hollywood Reporter tells us today.
Yeah, so it's been announced that CM Punk has landed a brand new movie role in an upcoming indie horror, Night Prowler, directed by Ryan Prowse, planned for a 2025 release. Punk is going to join. It's a big cast, everybody, so strap in for this one, and apologies if I pronounce some of these names wrong. We've got Justin Long, who is a big old horror. We all know who Justin Long is from stuff like Jeepers Creepers and the like. We've got Jermaine Fowler, RJ Seiler, YG, Freddie Gibbs, Nikki Michaud, yes, Flying Lotus, which is insane because I like Flying Lotus's music. We've got John Oswald and Dermot Mulroney.
So some big names from the
huge names.
From that world.
And it's stated that Punk will have a key role in the movie. Obviously, it's not the first time we've seen Punk in a horror film because he did that one, The Girl on the Third Floor, I think it's called.
Yes,
I can't remember. And I can't remember if the movie itself got like good reviews or not, but I remember that critics and stuff praised his performance in that. So he's good at what he does. He's good at what he does. So I'm looking forward to this. It should be good.
The Hollywood Reporter also provides a description for the role that Phil Brooks, aka CM Punk, will be playing in the film. He's described as the Sergeant's burly right-hand man.
Yes, come on.
It could be worse. He could be playing the Sergeant's burly right hand.
Oh, yeah.
As I hold up my left hand there, tricking you. Wow. Well done. That worked out wonderfully. As might this little bit of business, WWE rolling back the years a little bit, and I believe this might be the first time, maybe ever, possibly in a long time, because I know when we had those ECW reunion shows, they ran the Hammerstein.
Yes, they did.
But it's been revealed by sources close to the Wrestling Observer that WWE has a date in the calendar for next year for the 2300 Arena in Philly, aka the ECW Arena.
What?
The belief is that the show, there will be an NXT TV taping on June the 11th next year. I believe that's June the 11th next year, because Americans do the dates the wrong way around.
So that's the 6th of the 11th.
11/6.
So that would be November the 6th.
Oh, well, there we go. 11/6. It says 11/6. The day after the election. Of course it is. I should have finished reading that sentence, shouldn't I, really? That would have explained everything. The day after the election, they booked for Philly.
Yes.
In the end, what was known as the ECW Arena. They go on to say the fact there will be a show has been confirmed by many, just not the date. NXT, a very unfamiliar night on that night, and they'll be loading up, going head-to-head with AEW as well. Makes sense that the idea that the NXT show will emanate from the ECW Arena. It's something a little bit different. I wonder whether they'll lean into a little bit of that ECW energy.
That's what I was wondering as well. We know they like to do they bring back the WCW stuff, don't they, for like Halloween Havoc and whatnot like that. Do we see an NXT one night stand or something? I don't know. It could be quite fun, but I think that's the right thing to do if you're going up against AEW. Let's spice both shows up a little bit, you know.
It's always exciting when they do that, and I think there's something intriguing with NXT coming out of Philadelphia next month out of the ECW Arena. This weekend, Maple Leaf Pro Forged in Excellence is the first shows from Scott D'Amore's new project, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. It's a promotion name that goes back to the 30s, and there's a wonderful, rich history, but they're bringing it back and they're reigniting it this weekend. Big show that features Josh Alexander, Speedball Mike Bailey, Ring of Honor Women's Champion, record-breaking Women's Champion Athena, AEW International Champion Konosuke Takeshita, the dulcet tones of Mauro Ranallo.
It's perfect. Mamma mia, everybody.
Mamma mia. It's a 2-night event that you'll be able to watch on Triller. One lucky viewer is going to get themselves to watch it for free, courtesy of us at Cultaholic. And if you fancy winning an entire weekend pass for Forged in Excellence, check out cultaholic.com right now and our exclusive interview with Scott D'Amore, the man behind MLP. And for the latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Keys.
I love you, bye.